Hey everybody, I think in this video we have something that's going to be interesting for most of you that are at all interested in silver pouring and or Morgan dollars. We are going to take this 1921 Philadelphia Morgan and we are going to melt it down. And then after we get it melted down, I'm going to make a mold of it, and we're going to pour it back into its own made mold, and we'll see how that comes out. I think it should be interesting to see what it ends up looking like. I have not done this before. I don't normally recommend melting down 90% silver. It devalues this Morgan dollar, I think, immediately once you do something like that. The Morgan dollar itself does have a slight premium than just simply melt. So, I think it'll be an interesting video to kind of see how this comes out and what it does look like after we melt it down and then re-pour it into a mold. In addition, we'll see how long it takes just to kind of melt that down. In the video, I'm going to be using two torches for this. I'll be using this Bernzomatic TS4000 and then also this Bernzomatic 8000 at the same time. All right, so first thing we got to do is make a mold of this Morgan. I'm going to place it down with the reverse here first. Press it down into the Petrobond here. Use a little gold bond. Back in the day it used to be just talcum powder. Just kind of brush that off. You don't need really much to stay on there. We'll put the other half of our mold on here. There's what the reverse looks like. Let's see if we can just get this to pop out here. I'm gonna get a little closer. It's gonna be a little difficult to see possibly on this video. There's the obverse. I'm going to clean up this mold a little bit, make a sprue for us to pour the silver down into, and then we'll come back in just a second. Alright, so we got our two halves of our mold put together here. Here's the reverse, here is the obverse. You can just barely see the indentation of the Morgan in here. I did not take any time in making these molds. This is not to, really make the most detailed end product here. This is really just kind of an educational thing to show you guys melting down some 90% silver and then just re-pouring it back into its own form. Once I'm done with this, I will probably just destroy it again, stamp copy into it, something along those lines. It would be illegal to resell it, certainly as an original Morgan dollar. And this mold is pretty sloppy. You can kind of see I got an indentation right there. But we'll kind of clean it up and see how well we can get it looking just based off of this. And people do, they do counterfeit Morgan dollars, and they do it with this method. I have seen some of them out there. Typically, they're not going to do it with one of the least valuable Morgans around. They're going to do it with like a Carson City or something like that, probably. But anybody with any kind of a trained eye at all on, Morgan dollars is going to be able to spot a fake or a counterfeit Morgan dollar, especially one that's made casting like this with this method. They make Morgans now in China that are very original looking and can be hard to spot. So in any case, I'm going to put these two molds together and we'll get to some melting. Alright, so at first glance, this actually doesn't look too bad. As you guys can see, I spilt a little bit of that silver as I was pouring that. My crucible was really dirty. I really should have probably glazed or cleaned a new crucible for this. But thankfully, I guess some of the extra silver I kind of had on that horribly dirty crucible was enough to actually fill in the remainder from what I spilt here. But let's get this cooled off quick. Here's an initial look. Looking pretty poor on the back side from what I can see here, but let me get this cleaned off a little bit and we'll come back to it. Alright, so here it is. I just simply cut the sprue off the top of this thing for starters here. But actually overall, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. Here's the reverse. I think what I'll do is I'll throw this in the tumbler just so that it kind of gets an overall similar consistency to the shine of it. I think that'll allow us to take a better look at it. We'll put it on the scale, see what it weighs. We'll also put it on a Sigma and see how it comes back as far as the metal testing goes. All right, the tumbler just stopped. Let's get this thing out of here. Let's see how it looks. Let me go get this inside. We'll get it cleaned off. We'll take it in, weigh it. It's definitely looking a little bit better here than it did just a minute ago. But we'll need to get it a little bit better cleaned off and take a closer look. Alright, so here's a look at the final product. Overall, I think it actually looks pretty decent. At a glance, I mean, it would look like a normal, authentic Morgan dollar. When you take a closer look at it, though, it doesn't take long at all. If we get closer, you can kind of see the surface just has a very kind of spotty appearance to it. Absolutely, it looks like it was casted. You know, the reading on the edge is really sloppy. You can see where the mold came together along the reeds, and then of course where the sprue was looks terrible. Again, I wasn't really trying to do anything with perfection here. This is really just, again, a demonstration to show you guys you know, what happens with this process. The reverse looks, again, pretty decent, again, kind of at a glance. Here we are just kind of compared to an authentic 1921 Morgan that was in a relatively similar condition to begin with. You can see this one's probably in about an AU-ish type of condition, still has some luster to it, whereas the molded one here has no luster, it's just got straight shine. And then a comparison on the reverse. But you know, very obvious to anybody that looks at Morgan dollars on any kind of a regular basis that this one would be, you know, counterfeit at this point. So let's throw this on the scale here in a second, and we will see what it's coming in weight-wise, and then we'll also throw it on the Sigma metal tester and see what it tests out. It does ping test properly, so you're not going to be able to see this whole thing, but hopefully you guys can hear this. There you can kind of hear that it does ping test properly. So it would pass a ping test in my opinion. But let's throw this on the scale. Let's see what it's coming in weight-wise. All right, we got our scale set to grams here. A 1921 Morgan silver dollar should come in right at about 26.7 grams. And we're coming in at 24 grams, so that would be an obvious giveaway that this would be fake in this case, even though it's probably going to test out accurate in every other way. We'll throw on this authentic Morgan, and you can see that's coming in. It's got some wear to it, but it's coming in at 26.69 grams, so that's within the margin of error. Let's throw it on the Sigma now, and we'll see what we get with that. Here we go. We got our Sigma set to 90% silver, US pre-1900. Even though this is a 1921, it's the same consistency. So let's put this on here. And as you can see, it is testing accurate. On a Sigma, you're just really looking to see the square here in between the two parentheses, if that's what you want to call them, but that's going to give you a confirmation that whatever metal you're testing is testing accurate for its contents. And just for, again, comparison, we'll throw the authentic one on there, and you can see that it's falling in the exact same spot. So this would pass a metal test, pass the ping test. It would not pass the weight test in this case. So there you go. So that's going to conclude today's video. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button. If you guys want to see some more and similar content, please subscribe. And thanks for watching.